That's what I've learned with the nonprofit.
Yeah.
I can't take on everything. At the beginning, we were like, oh, you need a mattress? We'll
Yeah.
find you a mattress.
Yeah.
You need it. Okay, you lost everything. We're going to go get, and then it was like, wait a minute. No, there's actually a mattress company that is giving this away.
But don't lose that.
Which part?
Don't lose the part where you want to solve every problem, because that's the part that made you create the foundation. That's the part that makes you have the impact. Yes, you do have to delegate. Yes, you do have to be able to have other people help you. But if you lose the part where you want to solve every problem, then you've lost the
passion
fire.
For it.
Disruptors. Defy the odds. Disruptors. Defy the odds. Performance over potential. Got mad talent raining down. It's torrential.
Together. But you're doing a lot too. I mean, everybody that sits in that chair, I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to get done, but you're doing a lot with that. So tell us about Strong Home. Tell us about your mission, your vision.
Absolutely. So Strong Home was actually developed out of, I want to say, like, our own personal pain, which I think a lot of like great organizations are developed out of.
Oh.
But for me personally, I wanted to be for other people what I didn't have when I needed it at the time, if that makes sense. But we're specifically focused on strengthening the family as a unit. And we do that by providing resources in the areas of family, faith, fitness, finances, and then personal development. So there's a lot of like strengthening relationships and marriages and touching a lot of the pain points that are in those relationships. You know what I'm saying? To be able to really help strengthen them. But when the fires happen, so we've been doing that for 6 years or whatever.
Right.
When the fires happened, the California wildfires, in LA, we had to pivot because a lot of people in our organization, a lot of people in our Teen Talk Youth group, we have a Teen Talk Youth group that has about 50 kids or so that were registered. And several of them had lost their homes. Their families were just displaced. There was so much confusion and just uncertainty. And so we couldn't just like continue business as usual. We had to pivot in some way, and we had to figure out how to help them. So we ended up establishing 3 massive distribution hubs in not in Los Angeles, but Pasadena and Altadena. And through that, our organization helped to mobilize about 700 or so volunteers. And we distributed over 10 million actual like in-kind essentials to, I was shocked too, because we're the small little tiny organization, but there is so much power in numbers and teamwork and community. And that was when everyone came out. Like, it's sad there was a disaster, but I've never seen the power of community like that. So all of us together just, pulled together. We helped over 8,000 families. It was incredible. That's how we even got connected, remember? Was through, what was the name of it? The foster care one that we did together.
I thought, well, when I first met you was at the event we did with women in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that day, we ended up going to somewhere in LA, and we were all serving together.
Yeah.
And
we did the comfort cases.
Yes, comfort cases.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So that type of stuff. And now let me tell you, my heart is always to love people and has always been to serve. But my real actual job for, I don't even know, 15, almost 20 years was music management, managing a bunch of music artists. And the entertainment industry, it seems like it's so rewarding, right? You're traveling the world, you're getting thick passports of just seeing everything and, experiencing first-class treatment of whatever. Never my entire life have I had anything more rewarding than the nonprofit.
That's
where
awesome.
All we're doing is serving people and just watching people's like lives actually change, and they depend on you so much, which is the next part. When you said people sitting in here are always the people that have so much going on.
Yeah.
Because learning how to set those boundaries,
Yeah.
how to shut off, you know what I'm saying? To have office hours, like, because everybody needs.
Just want to solve every problem.
You want to solve everything.
Yeah,
That's the whole.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that now. Like you talked about the Altadena finals. I'm dealing with that now with Jamaica, right?
Yes,
so Jamaica just, that the thing kind of turned left and went right over my family home, my grandparents' home. My dad's high school's destroyed, Manning's High School, Salvamar Hospital, where my grandparents, both got their cares destroyed. And, to your point, it's sort of like, I'm the CEO of a $3 billion company. My heart is telling me, go fix this, go fix this, go fix that. But then to your point, you have to have the boundaries to say, okay, And then you kind of look, okay, what are other people doing? Okay, all these different artists are getting all this stuff there. So, maybe this isn't the right time for me to jump in. You know what I mean? So but my heart is just like you
Is to
said,
serve and to help.
I cannot keep money in my wallet. I can't keep money in my wallet because every time I pass somebody and I know that they're going to go and get drugs with it, but my hand goes in my pocket and I give them the money. So I feel you.
Okay, what do you do? What do you do with that? Like, have you found, I'm not saying it's a solution, but some type of way to manage? Like, what's your SOP? What's your standard operating procedure for how to say no?
I haven't stopped. I haven't managed it. I just, and you know this about us in our relationship professionally and everything, that I will try to do everything. And I just, when it falls down, it falls down. But I mean, I think that there's even with this event and bringing April and all the things and going up on stage at the last minute. I mean, for me, it's sort of like, okay, what is the ultimate goal? Yes, there's turns and things and there's things you didn't anticipate, but what I want to get out of it. And so I haven't solved it.
Yeah.
Every problem I see, I want to fix. I mean, I'm on the airplane and I'm late for my flight and there's a dude rolling in the wheelchair himself, and I'm like, I'm gonna go help him.
Yes. And you got to be somewhere and you're
and then
late.
I took him somewhere and then now he's taking advantage. He's like, hey man, can I get some chips? And I'm rolling him around. And then I start, I'm like, I'm late for my flight. So I find somebody who works there, say, listen, you got to help this dude. And I'm running, I almost missed my flight.
So you just gave me the standard operating procedure. And as a CEO, you should. You delegated.
Yeah, you have to delegate to a degree. Yeah.
That's good. And a lot of people don't. I'm still learning how to do that because the problem with delegation is the person that you're handing it over to has to know how to handle it.
I'm going to help you with that. When you delegate, you lose creative control and you have to be comfortable with that. You cannot expect that creatively what you had in your mind when you give it to somebody else. I'll give you an example. This studio, right? Jordan, he doesn't have a mic. Normally he has a mic, but Jordan built this studio.
Really?
Did you send me one text on what to put in here? Not one. So when I walk in, did I say anything about it? What'd I say? I love it. Because I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because I gave him creative control. Yeah. And because I don't have the bandwidth, I got on a plane yesterday. I got this morning at 5.
Yeah.
So if I don't give him creative control and then walk in and say, I love it. Yeah, maybe this pillow should have been blue, but it's his deal. So that's the thing you got to be able to do is especially when you're trying to expand that foundation, trying to help more people. We have 40 clinics right now nationally, like the one we did in LA. And I don't know, there's one going on today and I don't know anything about it. That's scale. Now, does it look exactly how I want it to look? Not at all, but is it achieving what I want it to achieve?
And that's the part.
You
know what I'm going to try? I keep saying this, I don't put the time and energy to do that, but to create a life, just a personal one, not like me and my husband or a family, but a personal life mission and a mission statement. So I can start saying no to anything that doesn't align with that statement.
Yeah, that's a great
in a way that you see. So then I can set that boundary for myself and not feel guilty. And then the solution would be find other people that can delegate. That's what I've learned with the nonprofit.
Yeah.
I can't take on everything. At the beginning, we were like, oh, you need a mattress? We'll find you a mattress. Yeah. You need it. Okay, you lost everything. We're going to go get, and then it was like, wait a minute. No, there's actually a mattress company that is giving this away.
But don't lose that.
Which part?
Don't lose the part where you want to solve every problem, because that's the part that made you create the foundation. That's the part that makes you have the impact. So yes, you do have to delegate. Yes, you do have to be able to have other people help you. But if you lose the part where you want to solve every problem, then you've lost
like your
the
passion
fire.
for it. Yeah, I could see that. So our passion my passion, I'm going to say, for a very long time has been youth since I was little, since I was younger than the youth. Like I always wanted to work with teenagers and kids. I even got my actual degree is in English education. So I taught high school English for a while and then got into entertainment, did that for a while, got right back into serving youth through our Teen Talk.
Yeah.
And that's why, honestly, I'm so thankful for you guys, because even though our connection relationship within the, our organizations crossing paths is really just this year, you guys have made such a dent
Oh, I
in
appreciate it.
that area. Like, you're not even over there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
Miami, here in Dallas, like, to be able to do what you guys have done and your extended reach. So we did an Ignite program, which was it was our Project Breaking Barriers Ignite program over the summer. And you guys were amazing at helping with that, because we took a bunch of kids over the summer to be able to just have this immersive experience of like career
Yeah.
exploration.
Yeah.
It was cool. We got to do, like, we took them to Kevin Hart's studio, and they got to be able to tour both of his studios, and they learned about mass media production and journalism and writing and things like that. We did Fly Compton, where they got to like experience aviation and simulation, and then you guys helped out with Glendale Adventist,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
so we were able to connect with you guys. They did CPR over there. That was when I realized, because I had just mentioned it to you like on the side, and you were like, "Here's a person. Go talk to that
No.
person. We're about to help you." Like
Yeah.
your heart, right? Well, I guess that was you solving
That's,
more
I mean,
problems,
that,
like you do.
but I tell you, I mean, as you know, when you do things, that was 800 conversations with 622 people saying no. Right?
What?
Well, yeah, I mean, because people don't have the bandwidth, or they're working shifts, or they're, you know,
Wow.
whatever. You know, for me, I'm constantly pushing to say, hey, let's get this done. And I think at the end of the day, you need to have somebody that grounds you. But like, and I don't want you to lose that spark. I want you to tell people though, where can they find Strong Home? Where can they go? I mean, if they want to donate, but not just donate money, but time,
Prayers, even. No
resources,
joke.
prayers,
For
support.
real.
Where can they go?
Absolutely. So you could find us on the internet. It's www.stronghomenetwork.com. Our Instagram is also at Strong Home Network. You can come actually to Los Angeles if you want to find us in an actual physical location. There is a place that's called the EFC for anyone that did lose their home in fires. If there's anything that you guys need, it's called the Eat and Fire Collaborative, and we're at 540 West Woodbury. So you could do that as well in Altadena. And yeah, the prayers are super accepted, or how do you say that? Appreciated. Especially to thank you guys for the
No,
HBCU tour that you
yeah,
helped us
that's, I
with.
mean, it's
So
amazing. It's
just all of
amazing.
those connections that
Yeah.
that we've been able to make together.
And I think, like, you know, the thing that maybe the last thing I'll say about it, you know, as far as the partnership, is that, you know, at the end of the day, if we collaborated, I mean, I'm not going to get into politics and all this stuff, but a lot of the things that we create on the political side is because we're not collaborating in our own communities. And I think, you know, if we collaborated, or, you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's like back in the day when everybody used to go to the church and get the support. I think that we're going to move back to that time where everybody in the community is going to rally around people that need them. So,
can I ask you one half of a question real
yeah.
quick? Okay. Less than 1%. Can you help me understand if the less than 1% is actually a good thing or a bad thing? Like, if you feel less than, it sounds bad, but less than 1% is exclusive at the same time?
So a little bit of both, little
Yeah.
bit of both, right? So if you think somebody like, I think you heard the story. I had a coach that said I had less than 1% chance of being the CEO. So that's twofold. One is I'm less than 1%. I'm the bottom, and that's how I'm perceived. But the less than 1% is also empowering, because I did end up being the CEO.
Lift it.
You know what I mean? So it's both, and I think you need to feel both. I think you need to feel that slight, because if you don't feel that slight, you might not move. If I didn't feel that slight, I would have never even tried to become the CEO.
Wow.
So in some ways, he actually kind of helped me. He wasn't trying to, or maybe, I don't know, but him saying I couldn't made me know that I could. And so to me, that's where it's
still alive.
Oh yeah, he's still my coach.
Can we send him a thank you note?
He's still my coach. You're out there. You know who you are. He's still my coach.
Wow.
I keep him close, and we talk all the time. And
so he knows
he knows the book is there. He's frustrated. He said that you didn't paint the picture the right way, but I totally painted the picture exactly how it happened.
And how you saw it. And that's all that matters, because that drove you to where you are right now.
Exactly right. And so, and it's, you know, I think it's, you know, especially with kids, when I give them the book, because I talk about Stephen Curry, I talk about Saria Bonnerly, who you saw on the screen, but I also talk about Nanny. And Nanny's a Jamaican revolutionist, right? She was the first person to fight against the British. She led the Maroon Army, so much so that the army gave her her own plot of land for her and the Maroon Army, because they didn't want to fight him anymore. So it was the first treaty. It was in the 1700s the first treaty in Jamaica. So, and sort of stem the tide to get rid of slavery. But there's a lot of stories in there of people who are underestimated, and then after the race is run, they're the winners, and nobody expected them to be. So
that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. No, really, for real, that's amazing. That's a huge accomplishment, and it's so inspirational. Like people always say, like especially as a Black man, but just as a person who got this, and somebody said that to them. And you flip that around into blessing.
Yeah, and I hold grudges. But anyway.
Yeah, we got to work on that. We're going to work on that.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending the time.
For sure.
And go check out Strong Home. And we'll be back on Less Than 1%. Thank you.
Yeah.